Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I just love saying channel.
The Disney Channel.
Yeah, the busy channel.
I always think about like the drawing the Mickey Mouse.
Yes, and I'm love how I'm like going like this with a knife just in my hands. That's what the professionals do. Today we're going to be making a pan-seared pork chop with a delicious mustard sauce and mushrooms and spinach. I was like, what is that?
What is that?
But I'm really excited because I am working with a different brand. It's called Pastures. You guys remember I talked about Butcher Box in the past, and I used to love the quality of their produce. They have no produce. Their meat is what it is. But the last few times I got it, was super underwhelmed, and then I thought it was maybe me. Maybe I just wasn't cooking it correctly. Maybe I was overcooking it, undercooking, whatever it is. Twice I took chicken to my friend Morgan's house. She's a professional chef, and both times it was so gross. We like cooked it to perfect temperature. We made these sticky marinated chicken legs, whatever it was. We just were disappointed. So then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get the pork and beef from Butcher Box. Then that quality just shit to bed. Like I hated it. So now I'm trying a new one. It's called Wild Pastures. The best part about it is that their basic box is 44% less money than Butcher Box. And look at the quality of it. So I'm going to use one of these, I almost said chicken, one of these pork chops in this dish today. And the recipe is going to be down below. So you don't need to take notes or anything. They're all going to be down below. I'm just going to get my pan hot. I'm going to do like a medium heat. So I'm going at like 350. I think a lot of people don't cook pork because they either think it's tough or anything like that. It used to be that you had to cook pork to like 160, 165 degrees as much as you would chicken. But now you can go between 140 and 145. I usually pull the pork chops at 140 because the residual cooking will get it to 145. And then it's slightly pink in the middle. It's tender, it's juicy, it's all the things that you could want. So what I'm going to do here while that's getting to temperature, I have my notes here too so I don't forget, is in here is just a tablespoon of flour with salt and pepper. What you looking for, Hannah?
Your thermometer.
I have it.
Oh, okay, perfect.
I'm like so prepared today.
I know.
She's like, let me get you a plate. I'm like, I got a plate. Let me get you a knife. I'm like, I got a knife. All these things. What I will need is a paper towel because I'm going to want to pat this dry. And then if production could come take the other half of this package,
Yes.
that would be delightful. Thank you. Thank you for that.
No problem.
So yeah, all I'm going to do is pat this a little bit dry. And don't worry, the flour will stay to it. It's still going to be a little bit wet. And then I'm actually just going to do that. Put it on there. And just the flour's just going to give it a nice little crust. I'm going to go all over. And these are kind of thick pork chops. I'm going to say these might take 15 minutes to do. I don't want to cook them too fast or too high heat because then the outside gets done before the inside. But it'll finish cooking in this braising liquid that we have. And we're not even using the whole tablespoon of flour. So there we go. Let's see if our pan is hot. Let's just add a zhuzh more avocado oil spray. This is the one I use. It's Chosen Foods. I talk about it all the time. Somehow you can do 32 seconds of a spray and it's still 0 points. I also let this get to room temperature before putting it in the pan. And so I'm just going to go like that. That's it. And I'm probably going to go 4 minutes on that side, 4 minutes on the other side. I'll temp it, see where we're at before finishing off with the mushrooms and the sauce. It's been cooking 4 minutes, so it's got a good sear on it. And then because it's got a fat cap on it right there, I'm just gonna cook that on that side for another 4 minutes. Cook it on this side for another 4 minutes, take it off, add the mushrooms and the pan sauce, and then it's all gonna come together. Our pork is at 135, so I'm gonna pull it out because I'm gonna add it back to the sauce. Typically I don't like to go top to bottom, I like to go on the sides, but the side of my pan is a little bit too much. So we're gonna just take that out, but can we look at that gorgeous, gorgeous crust? So we're gonna leave that right there. We're gonna add a little bit of more avocado. I'm gonna leave this in here because it's just gonna add flavor to the sauce. And we're just gonna add our mushrooms. I'm gonna write the recipe as if it were for 4 servings. Right now this is just 1 serving because it's just me. Do you like pork? Oh yeah, you do like pork, but she would not eat a pork this thick at all.
Yeah,
hers has to be like.
I really like ground pork.
Oh yeah, like in making wontons and stuff like that. And these mushrooms will take hardly any time to cook.
What did you mean when you said you normally go top to bottom?
To do the thermometer.
Oh,
I like to go in on the side.
Yeah.
Because the reason being is if you go top to bottom, if you don't know what you're doing, you might touch the bottom of this to the pan, which will give you a false reading. And then you're like, oh gosh, I've overcooked it. You take it out, and then you're like, well, now I got to cook it more. But if you go in sideways, you eliminate the factor of getting it in there. But I was only halfway through. I could have easily taken the pork chop out and done it that way, but it's alright.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And I'm just looking for a little bit of color on these. That looks good to me. And then the reason I have my liquid separate is because you don't want to use cornstarch and hot water. And I use hot water to make, because I use bouillon for my beef. So this is just beef bouillon with a little bit of crushed red pepper. This is just water with a tablespoon of cornstarch, which is all going to be at the bottom. It's fine. Can I have a spoon, Hina?
Yeah, do you want to use the mustard spoon?
Oh, I could, yeah. I meant to stir it before I put it in there. We're gonna pretend that I did that. It's okay that we're adding it now. This is just gonna thicken our sauce. And then I love a mustard that has mustard seeds in it. And I like a lot, so we're gonna add that to the pan. And zhuzh that around till it gets thickened a little bit. And as that starts to thicken, I'm gonna add the pork chop back in. And this is probably only gonna take, 3 minutes for this to fully cook. I'll temp it. In the very last minute, I'll add the greens because I just want them just to slightly wilt. So our pork chop is done. It got to 143. I let it sit out. Then I added my greens to this. We did have to add a little bit more broth because wasn't thinking this took about 20 minutes to cook because of the size. And you're not really looking to how long it takes it's to temperature. So use mine as a guideline. So maybe start probing your chicken or your pork at like 15 minutes. And then we're just gonna pour this over the top. Look at how gorgeous it is. You could serve this with mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes, anything like that. Rice even, because it makes such an unctuous gravy. Unctuous. I just want to say that word. Unctuous. Love it. Unctuous. All right, well, let's dig in and see how it tastes. So we decided to add this to our mastering meals of how to cook pork. A few tips: make sure that your meat is always at room temperature before you start to cook it. And depending on the size of your pork chop, ours is pretty thick, is going to change the cooking time, but not the temperature of that you want to get to. So 145 is the most that you want to get it to. I like to pull it off between like 140 and 143. It'll get to 145. And so get a meat thermometer. It's going to be your best friend. I'll put a link down to this below. This is an affiliate link. I might get a penny if you buy this. You don't even have to buy this one, but I'll leave the link. Just get a digital one because then you don't have to guess like, is that 140, 145 or anything like that. So we're just going to cut into it here. Oh my gosh, it looks amazing. My fork is stuck. We can do that. You probably can't tell from there, but this is like super juicy. Let me get a mushroom Oh my gosh. I can do this. I can eat. I just wanted everything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. This is some of the best pork I've ever had. I'm not kidding. That recipe aside, the pork is flavorful. It's juicy. Mmm. That's amazing. As luck would have it, I do have a discount code. It's just a link down below. You're going to get, let me just make sure I have this right. You're going to get 20% if you subscribe. You can get 20% off for life. You also get free shipping and a bonus $15 off your first order. And if for some reason you're like, how do I want to subscribe to something I haven't even tried? They do have a one-off box that you can just order one, taste it, and then come back to this link and get it. Because you guys, this is spectacular. I'm so excited. So yeah, yay, happy for us. But as always, we're happy that you stopped by. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And if you like what you see, then make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.